my great pleasure to welcome Ganesan. He is the spirit behind putting two great conferences together here in Detroit. This area was in the economic backroads. It has suffered much more than the other parts of the nation. And Tel, with his extreme energy, high passion, and real leadership, wanted to bring to Detroit a great conference which we do throughout the world as Tiecon, called Tiecon Midwest. He did an amazing job in 2009, and even greater phenomena in 2010. Tel, it's a pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you, Mateen.
Tel, I was here last year.
Yes.
I think the energy was great. It was, real excitement, and we were talking about how we can, bring entrepreneurship together and help Detroit and the region around Detroit, the Greater Michigan area, out of this economic crisis. And this year, I think we already are out of it.
Yes.
And you led with a great conference, and people are just raving about it. So I wanted to ask you, how do you do this?
Like you said, you need to have high energy, and then you need to have the passion, and you need to have the team. I think all three existed, and it's quite natural, for the conference to come out that way. But
TIE is a global platform.
yes.
I know the philosophy of TIE, as you know, is fostering entrepreneurship
Yes.
throughout the world. When did the bug hit you that you should get involved? And secondly, and most important, once you got involved, how did you get the inspiration to do this here in Detroit?
I mean, I've been involved in TIE, for the last, I would say, 10 years or so in different capacities. I think the bug really hit me about 3 years ago. It just so happened I was just invited for a dinner meeting. Had I missed the meeting, I would not be, sitting with you and talking. It just happened, and then, they were looking for some leadership at the time, and then there's, the vice president at the time, Victor, said, "Hey, why don't you take some leadership role?" And then, so I committed to it, and then since I committed to it, I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and then I didn't even know that I'm here after completing 2 conferences. I mean, that's how much you got involved into it.
Most of the chapters have a strong network of volunteers.
Yes.
A strong ecosystem, charter members.
Sure.
You have those challenges here because it's still,
Yes.
a growing
Yes.
chapter.
Yes.
And I saw you, not only take those challenges head on, but prove the critics wrong.
Yes.
And I think the entire ecosystem is talking about how you set a great example for throwing 2 great conferences.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, obviously, the reason I wanted to do it in Detroit, Mateen, really is, and obviously I've been to Silicon Valley to the last 2 conferences. I was totally impressed, inspired, and wowed about things happening in the Valley. I felt if people in Valley can do it, what's wrong with people in Detroit? And rather than me saying, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that, I said, let me find a way to make it happen, and that's what I did. And then I took it upon a challenge in 2009. People, as I said, people said doom and gloom, sky is falling, this is not a time to do the conference, let's not do it at all. And we said, wrong. And we put together a great conference in 2009. And obviously the momentum was there, the energy was there, and it's quite natural for us to keep that energy going. And that's why in 2010, with the same team, with the same passion that I talked about. And what I really learned from this whole thing is that when you love something and you do that with people you like the most, anything is possible, and that is really what this conference is all about.
This region needs that help. And I've seen it last year and this year, right, from Rick Snyder to many other people, right, from government to private, and other associations, who work with entrepreneurial organizations. They all said that this is something they never thought existed in Michigan.
Yes.
And they're awfully proud that as a Michigander, as they call
Yes.
you and a lot of other people here, they said that they're awfully proud of what you have done.
Yes.
And it is a need of the hour to spread entrepreneurship, because this will be the driving force to uplift the economy.
Absolutely. I mean, like we talked about throughout the conference, so many speakers talked about, I myself talked about in my welcoming remarks to the conference, that really entrepreneurship is really required to revive the city. It's really required to create jobs, create new entrepreneurs and new businesses, and help boost the local economy. And as I said earlier, this was the innovation capital And this is where Henry Ford created cars. And over the years, we just lost it. And I want Thai to be that vehicle to instill that risk-taking culture that's currently so abundant in Valley and bring them right here and revive the city. So that's really what this conference is all about. I mean, of course, we do have the keynotes, we do have the networking, we do have all the sessions, but beyond that, we wanted to create a major impact to the region, and that is what the Thai is really trying to do, and that's really what the main goal of the Tiecon is all about. And I'm glad that we were able to do it, and I'm glad that people are recognizing that, and I'm glad that real impact is being made.
What do you think if you want to put the message out there to the local leadership here? Because they all are trying to do things to revive the economy in their own different ways.
Sure.
You as the leader of this group and the president of Thai chapter here, what are your messages to the agencies, to the government, all the way up to the governorship, to change the way they look at in uplifting the economy?
Yes. I mean, entrepreneurship, and I like to answer it in twofold, Mateen. Obviously, that entrepreneurship requires risk-taking culture. And I don't think in my mind we have that in Detroit, quite have that in Detroit. We took things for granted because of the economy with the automotive. It was good for a while, but over the years, in the last several decades, we lost that innovative streak. And as a result, people are a little bit complacent. They think entrepreneurship is something wrong. And we need to prove that to those people. Entrepreneurship is a good thing to do. In fact, entrepreneurship should be pursued as a career. That's number one. And to do that, you need to instill that risk-taking culture that is so abundant in Valley. And bring that entrepreneurial mindset. And you need to start from the get-go. You just can't have that, over the years. I always keep telling people, if you go to the Valley, you talk to some of the kids. Instead of ABCD, they tell something else. A for action, B for business, and T for term sheet. And that kind of culture has to be brought in here. For so long we believed auto companies are the only companies. For so long a time we believed automotive CEOs are the only entrepreneurs. That got to change. Remember in the valleys, few people get together in a garage and create so many startups. That startup culture is missing. People say, yeah, the incubation is there, that is there. But what I find in Valley is that complete ecosystem is alive and well, it's flourishing. In Michigan, in Detroit area, it is there, but it's all in bits and pieces. Nothing is connected. As a result, entrepreneurs find extreme difficulty in connecting those dots. And that is what the leadership, in the city and at the state level should do. Look at the thriving entrepreneurial hotbeds, that is Silicon Valley and the Boston, and see what is missing and what those elements can be brought in here, so you create a thriving ecosystem that would allow to flourish, that will help the entrepreneurs to flourish, and the region would flourish. More jobs can be created. Rather than creating and doing the same thing over and over, we need to have a paradigm shift, right? So you can't solve old problems with old solutions. We need new strategies to solve old problems. And that can be done only at a much higher level. And Thai can only highlight those challenges, which is what we are highlighting throughout the conference.
I think it takes one man with the right idea and the right leadership to connect with like-minded people and build this.
Yes.
I think you're the right person for that. And I know you're going to play an even bigger role in the years to come.
Okay.
Congratulations for a job very well done.
Thank you very much, Mateen. Excellent.